Hey, welcome back. Today I thought I would kind of catch you up on some things I have not had the opportunity to talk about here on my channel. Now, if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you may have seen some of these products here and there, but there's so many new, innovative and cool things coming out right now. I'm quite frankly finding it hard to keep up. So I thought this would be a fun way to share with you 5 recent products I've purchased that I really enjoy, as well as 5 that I've purchased that haven't really been great. So that's what we're gonna do today. And I'm really excited to share the things that I'm liking. Okay, I want to start out on a positive note and talk about the products I have really been enjoying. So Merit released some new lipsticks. I was really excited when I saw the preview for these. I didn't really know what to expect, so I just kind of placed a blind order for 3 shades that just kind of spoke to me. So these are called the Merit Signature Lip. I got 3 colors in the shade Baby, which I am wearing on my lips right now, Slip, and also the shade Fashion, which is kind of like my fun color. Baby and Slip are very neutral. Fashion is a really pretty berry tone. So I was really shocked to find the packaging to be so heavy and luxurious feeling, because Merit, although their packaging I think translates into a luxurious minimalist feel, I do feel that they fall into the minimalist category. So I was kind of expecting the lipsticks to be very minimal, lightweight, similar to, let's say, their blushes or their complexion stick. But these do have a weighted, luxurious feel to them. And that's not why I like them. I like them because they are super moisturizing on the lips. It's just really hard nowadays. There are so many different lipstick formulas. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw these, I was just like, okay, I love Merit. I'm gonna purchase because I love the brand. But at the same time, am I really going to enjoy the formula? They are really comfortable and really moisturizing on the lips. I have to give that to them. I also enjoy the color payoff. The color payoff to me is somewhere between, it's not a sheer, but it's also not a full coverage payoff. And I find with lipsticks that are really full coverage payoff, it's harder for me to apply them, and I generally end up like smoothing them out or blotting them out anyways. Transparent lipsticks or sheer lipsticks, they tend to fade quicker. So this formula is definitely somewhere in between. You're not going to get like super full-on opaque color, but it's also not going to be sheer. And I do feel that these are also buildable on the lips. So props to Merit, gorgeous packaging, and I really can say the formula is lovely, comfortable, moisturizing. Can't ask for more. Randomly picked this up in Walgreens last month, and I have just been pleasantly surprised. This is semi-new. I know this has been out for a little while because I've been seeing it when I go to the drugstores, but it is a couple new products from the CeraVe skincare line, and the first is the Skin Renewing Vitamin C Serum. I have not incorporated a vitamin C in my skincare routine for probably since before I was pregnant. I remember the last vitamin C I was using was the Ola Henriksen Truth Serum, I'm pretty sure that's a vitamin C serum, and I really liked it, but I'm not sure if I stopped because I read you weren't supposed to use it while pregnant. It was honestly probably because I had a really bad flare-up of dermatitis while I was pregnant, and I was trying to keep my skincare very minimal, but I was like, you know what? I need to start incorporating this back in. So why not go with CeraVe? I use a lot of CeraVe stuff for eczema flare-ups, and it was pretty inexpensive. I want to say it was like $15. Love it. I'm not an obsessive person when it comes to my skincare. I just want stuff that feels good and I feel is effective. This is super lightweight. I use it just at daytime because I actually am going to talk about retinol that I got from them that I use at night. And I read somewhere you were not supposed to mix vitamin C and retinol together. So I just use the vitamin C during the day. Super thin, blends in beautifully, sits well underneath my makeup, and I feel as I've been using this, my complexion looks a little bit more even and bright. So I also got the Skin Renewing Retinol Serum with encapsulated retinol. Again, I'm a dummy when it comes to skincare. I generally have to like go and read which order to apply the products, but I just decided to give this a try because everyone just talks about how great it is to incorporate a retinol into your skincare routine. Now, I know that I have incorporated several in the past, and I've definitely had issues with sensitivity, burning, and I just trusted with CeraVe being, you know, I guess not really developing products that irritate the skin. I thought this would be a safe one to go with. Again, feels like nothing on my skin. I mean, it does not irritate my skin. Again, I still have perioral dermatitis running through the front of my face. It can be pretty bad in the evening times when I take my makeup off. And so I was looking for something that was super sensitive, but also could be effective. And I don't know, I have really been enjoying this. Both of these I've been pleasantly surprised with. Again, I want to say this one was a little bit more expensive. It probably was like at the $20 range though. So I used this in my recent video with e.l.f. and it wasn't really a product that was like the focal point or anything, but it is a new launch from them, and it's the Camo Powder Foundation. So we all know I'm a powder foundation snob, especially when it comes to the drugstore. The only powder foundation at the drugstore that I can say is super creamy, buildable, full coverage that I've liked in the past is the JCat Aquasurance. The color range in that lineup is not great though. So when I saw e.l.f. had a pretty significant color range in the camo powder, I was happy to see that. But I started wearing it for several days after I got this and was just really pleased with the coverage, how creamy it is. I will caution, it is a very matte powder. I think the camo line in general runs on the matte side. So I posted a TikTok showing how I like to wear this and how I kind of bring it back to life, add some glow to my skin, and I think it looks the same as if, you know, I were wearing a liquid like I am today. But I can really appreciate that this has good coverage because I complain a lot about drugstore powder foundations advertising that they're powder foundations when actuality they are just semi-transparent setting powders. You know what I mean? I'm really confused why everyone loved that L'Oreal Infallible powder foundation. To me, it was just a setting powder. I did not get powder foundation vibes from it. This, yes. It's really quick and easy to apply. Coverage, great with it. And I'm wearing it as a setting powder today because there's a foundation I'm going to talk about that I think just ultimately this makes it look better. So yeah, I've also been using it as a setting powder. Last product in my lineup for products I've been enjoying. I didn't realize I have quite a few skincare, but this is a skincare product as well. It's the Super Goop Daily Dose Hydroceramide Boost Drops or Sunscreen Oil. It's an SPF 40. I complain all the time about how I hate SPFs. I have truly don't think I've found an SPF that I love and I can confidently say that doesn't irritate my skin, that wears well underneath my makeup, doesn't give me, you know, like crazy white cast. This is, I mean, it can't give you a white cast because it's an oil, and I have just been obsessed with this. It is the first SPF that I can apply and truly say my skin doesn't itch or isn't irritated after applying it. That's a problem that I often have having eczema and dermatitis. It looks so youthful and glowy when it goes on, but I will tell you, if you're an oily person or if you're someone that just doesn't like the feel of an oil, stay away. You're not gonna like this. But if you're dry, sensitive skin, I would definitely recommend giving this a try. Now, I've already talked about this on both TikTok and Instagram, and no matter, anytime I show SPF application, there's always someone who says like, you would have to use an entire bucket of that for it to be effective. Listen, I am not out here trying to bathe in my SPF. I am doing good to just remember to put it on daily. So I'm just not one of those people that's obsessive with it, that's gonna reapply it throughout the day. And I've already had several people say, like someone said, I took this to my dermatologist and they said I'd have to use the whole bottle for it to be effective. I'm trying. I'm out here trying, and that's the best that we can do. This is truly the only SPF I've found to date that does not irritate my skin. And yes, it is pretty pricey. I feel like Super Goop, they're like wilding out on their SPF prices. It is kind of crazy how expensive their SPFs are. And I want to say I've only tried their unscreen, and it was a long time ago, like when they first started coming out with products. So I've not really jumped into any more of their SPFs, but she's a winner. Okay, I hate to start my disappointments out here because this is something that I've been getting requests to talk about and try, and I've had it. I have had it for several weeks now, and it is just not making the mark for me. And unfortunately, it's the RMS Eye Lights. So I got a gorgeous shade, and I'm wearing it on my eyes today. It's called Blaze. Love the shade. Laura Mercier amethyst vibes all the way. It's a nice kind of taupe, silver, and purple all mixed together. And that is just, that's me. When I see a color in a lineup, you know I'm going to pick it. So let's take a ride back and talk about the RMS eye polishes, the previous cream eyeshadows that RMS had. Those, again, I thought the shades were gorgeous. My problem with those is that they literally did not last more than 10 minutes on the eyes. Immediately oil breakdown central. And of course, like, I am not a perfectionist when it comes to my makeup. Sometimes that doesn't bother me, but this was to the point to where it was just gone. Like, they just did not stay on my eyes at all. Let's fast forward now to the eye lights. Opposite problem with this. I talk about, again, how I want a perfect consistency in my cream eyeshadows. I don't want them to be too wet, but I don't want them to dry so quickly that I can't work with them. And unfortunately, I'm finding that's the case with the eye lights. They dry very quickly, and the packaging itself is not super user friendly alone, but when you see how much, I'm going to show on the back of my hand, like I pinch out the tiniest amount and I work with it. I try to work with it with my fingers to keep it warm. I apply with a brush really quickly to try to get it off my hand and working on my eyes. And unfortunately, it just dries on my hand like so fast. I insert a clip right here to show you ultimately like how much product I end up wasting because it dries so quickly. And I just don't see a perfect world where I could take this tube and just apply it directly to my eye and blend it out and get something seamless. At least this shade, I feel you kind of have to work with it and manipulate it to get a super smooth finish. I actually applied a little bit of powder in my crease because I just felt like it wasn't uniform enough because it had dried down so quickly, and I kind of had like this gap from my mobile lid to my brow bone where just things weren't working out. So I do have a little bit of powder eyeshadow in my crease to help smooth things out. Ultimately, I find them hard to apply. Here we are again. So I don't know if I mentioned on here, but I bought another shade in Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin as a pure experiment for myself. Okay, so I had the shade 4, which was way too dark for me. And I realized that was adding to my distaste for it. Obviously, when a foundation's too dark on you, you're not going to see it in the most positive light anyway. So to give this a fair shot, I reordered shade number 2, neutral. Great match for me. I am wearing it today. So let's talk about this. Another reason I wanted to repurchase this again, I said it was kind of an experiment because I got so many comments from people saying it's just so weird that your beautiful skin is really wet looking and super dewy looking because mine's not like that. And that is the big complaint I had with the shade number 4. I mean, my face looked wet and it ate up every single powder I put on top of it. And so my friend Daisy Cash here on YouTube, she even messaged me and she's like, hey, I picked up 2 colors in this foundation. One was definitely more glowy than the other. So she was like, I'm wondering if, the shades could be somewhat formulated differently. Then I started getting similar comments on my videos saying the same thing. So I just thought, okay, let's go ahead and order another shade, see how it goes. So how it's been going is that I will agree this shade number 2 is way less wet and tacky feeling when I apply it. I've experienced it's definitely been a lot more pleasant in the application process. Now, as far as how I think this looks on my skin, I'm sticking to my original review where I stated I felt it looked best paired with a lot of things. So what I mean by that is I don't like wearing this very minimally. Just like for example, my traditional daily quick makeup would be a little bit of foundation, some cream bronzer, and mascara. I find that this looks like absolute garbage on me when I do that. There's just something about it. I'm going to show in the preview where I feel like it is a little patchy on me, where a lot of my redness peeks through and just not in a uniform way. It's fine if I'm throwing on a skin tint or something light coverage and that happens. But when it comes to me actually wearing a foundation, I kind of want it to be a little bit more uniform. So I went out of town this weekend and actually wore this for the car ride, and I just couldn't stop looking at my makeup in the mirror while I was in the car and just being like, damn, I don't like the way my face looks. I don't like the way this looks. You know, fast forward to today where I've paired it with my e.l.f. powder. I've worn some concealer, my Dior Forever Skin Concealer, blush, bronzer, kind of the full game. And it does look a lot better that way. I do appreciate that this color, this shade, is definitely not as tacky and wet looking as my previous one. I don't know if that was just a glitch, a dud, or if in fact some of the shades just have a completely different texture. I'm not sure. Overall, I am moving this into the category of my foundations that I like to call, actually I have no name. I'm literally making this up in my head as I go. But you know those foundations that just really don't work out for you? You don't hate them, so you're gonna hold on to them. And then every now and then you decide, hey, let's give this a shot. Let's see if I've evolved in my thoughts on this product. That's where this guy's going. Remember when I bought a bunch of Chanel from Ulta and reviewed it a few weeks ago? Well, I'm kind of regretting this purchase. This is the Coco Rouge Flash Shine lipstick in the shade Boy. And I talked about how this literally looks like my lip color. And it's like $40. So I'm not really getting much from it. It does not last long on the lips. And I just don't find the color is very unique for my lip tone. Also don't like it's got a Chanel taste and fragrance, which I get, that's how they do it. This very much reminds me of my YSL Rouge Volupte Shine lipstick. They're almost identical. And again, you're paying for luxury, the packaging. Although the YSL one, she steps out. Like, I love the packaging on those. Sure, it's sleek and minimal, but nothing to rave about and nothing that I think elevates it to the $40 mark. So this has kind of just been like hanging out. I'll throw it on because I know it's going to disappear in like 15 minutes. So, okay, to round this all out, I have 2 mascaras. First being drugstore, second being a high-end. So the first is this Curl Bounce mascara from Maybelline. This has been out for like 3 months. I've had this for a while. It was on display back in like December, January in my Walgreens, and I just thought, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. It's a part of the Colossal family. A lot of people like that mascara formula. Honestly, I feel like Maybelline Great Lash would have served me better than this mascara has been. You know, remember pink and green watermelon looking Maybelline Great Lash? Yeah. This just, it doesn't do anything for me. I was excited when I saw the brush because it's like a traditional brush, and generally those work better on my lashes. I will say, as I've let it dry out, it does a little bit better, but ultimately it's just kind of one of those dud mascaras that just kind of doesn't do much for me. I feel like also throughout the day, my lashes tend to fade with this. Like, it's not holding up or it's not keeping a curl. Okay, someone just called me. I forgot where I left off but this is not it. So I'm just going to leave that there. Moving on. This is not a disappointment. It's just kind of like an okay product to me. And I know I talked about it recently and used it in a video. It was my first time using it. But it's the Milk Makeup Rise Mascara. So this, again, like I said, it's just been okay. I think it's pretty. It kind of gives a little flutter to the lashes, but it's not out here really elongating like the name says. It's Rise Mascara. I don't feel like I get that with it. If anything, it's more of like kind of a flared vibe, but not a lengthening vibe, at least on my lashes. I purchased a little mini, and then Milk ended up sending me a full size. So I've just been using the mini, and I doubt there's really a difference in using the full size and the mini. Sometimes people say there is, but it's kind of just been like my travel mascara. I kept it in my travel makeup bag. I don't really have problems with it smudging, so again, nothing negative there. And overall, I just find it to be like quick application. Okay, I'm making no sense. You know, when you just have like a mascara laying around, throw it on quick. That's like kind of how I've been using this. So yeah, it's just okay for me. Okay, so those were 5 products I have been enjoying, 5 products I've not been enjoying. I hope you liked seeing that. I'm trying to just get caught up on some new launches. Let me know if there's something you want to see in upcoming videos, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm like overwhelmed with all this stuff that's coming out. We got to take it back a notch, because I'm just not used to this much consumerism, especially here on my channel. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.